Alrighty guys, we're live. So I'm going to finish my arrows today. I ended up getting 5 done yesterday, so I got another 7 to go. 6 to go, so I got one bare shaft. So that's what I'm doing today, is finishing up my arrows. Thought I'd do it live for you, seeing I'm down here anyway. May as well do a live stream for you and get into it. But the first thing I need to do is change out my pins, because I've got a couple of smashed pins. Get the old blower going. And where is a little box full of pins. So let's quickly replace a couple of these bent pins and we should be good to go. Finish up these arrows. Put them in. That's good. Just got to change this one. Alright, we've got some people on. Look out, I'm just finishing my arrows live. So I'm just changing out these dodgy couple of knocked pins. So if you can see, I don't know if it'll focus in, won't focus in, but it's got a big spoon out of it, big chunk out of it. So we're going to be replace these quickly, then we'll finish these arrows and I can give them a go finally. In 1, 2. I don't know if any of these are damaged, but I can't really change them until we. So I finished knocking them anyway. Finished veining them. 4 people on, wow! 4 people to watch me refletch me arrows. This makes me feel good, people, let me tell you. Hit that like button for me. Worst of the salesman, aren't I? Alright, so hopefully I don't burn my fingers. Ah, Kane's back! You! How are you, Chop? Yeah, I probably will end up blowing something up. I've got a plan for that actually. I've got a plan to blow some things up with my arrows. Robert Rumsey, how are you, buddy? Night Hunt's in. How we going? Few people on board already. Watching me fix me arrows. Just replacing a couple of pins quickly before I finish feigning my arrows. What jig is that? This jig is the Bitzenberger jig, and I'm going to do a video on the Bitzenberger after this live feed once I finish. So make sure you stay tuned for that, and I'll fill you in on how to set it up and all that good stuff. Of course, they say the Bitzenberger is one of the best jigs you can get. Whether it is or not, it's another thing, but that's what they say. And it's Greg's. I always borrow Greg's one. I'll have to get my own soon, I think. Just tighten up my glue. So I'm still going to get these arrows finished so I can try out my new stabiliser. Now I totally get if these are boring videos and you don't want to watch, guys, but I thought I was down here anyway. You can come along for the ride. Why not? Seeing I'm here anyway. Alright, new pins installed. Now we can finish veining these arrows. So we can put these yellow ones on. Some new pins, some new knocks I mean. Place me knock adapter. I just seen it a second ago. The only problem, I keep crap everywhere, so I don't know where anything is. Never know where anything is. I swear I seen it here just a second ago. The old knock putting on tool. I've lost me knock putting on tool. It's fluoro green too, so I don't know how I can't see it. I don't know. Go on. Alright, one down. Alright, good to go, good to go. Alright, let's get things set up. Let's get our towel going. A bit of a pre-wipe on the old veinage. These veins, a quick wipe. Only need 2 of them. Let's just finish this arrow. Let's do Greg's way and just finish it off, eh? 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's wipe these ones while we're here. Quick wipeage of the veins. Alright, we're good to get into it. I'm stinging to I got my new stabiliser, it's on my bow ready to go. But I've got no arrows to shoot it. Oh, I could probably shoot some old arrows, but I want to get these set up. So that's the goal, get these arrows set up so I can try out my new onyx stabiliser. Let me tell you, it's nice as well. They look so good. I can't wait to get me long rod as well. The long rod's going to be awesome. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Which one's my bear shaft? This one. Just noticed one of my shafts got a bit of a knock in it, bit of a crack in it. In a bad spot too. I don't know if it's a crack or just a little blemish in it. You probably won't be able to see, but there it is. Seeing the light there. Just a little blemish, and it's on the arrow, and you don't want that. You don't want a chance of a cracking in the shot and blowing up in your hand. That is for sure. Alright, so we're on to the long process of finishing these arrows. Just a little fraction bit of excess. Fix that up a bit. Alright, should be good to go for this first vein. You can throw on a purpley. I'm telling you, I'm loving the purple and yellow veins. They definitely look sick. You don't need much of this bright side glue either. Just a touch. Alright, so the trick I think is too making sure you leave it stick down good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a video on how to set up the bits and burger as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Just how to get your angles and that all worked out. Once I finish these, I'll reset it up. I can't really adjust it now, because if I adjust it now, the rest of these arrows are going to be different. So you got to finish your arrows, then we can readjust them and see how we go. It's good I got a little time. And what, I've been going for 10 minutes already. Time flies when you're doing a live stream. I suppose time just takes so long to fletch these arrows. We've nearly got one down to go. One down. 5 to go. That worked. Beautiful. Okay, last vein. Are you still on, Chop, or you bailed? Are you still gaming, Chop, if you're still on there? I'll tell you what, I'm pretty hooked on what is it? Unknown Battlegrounds. Let me tell you, it's a pretty addictive game. Tactic. How much? Hang on. Oh, here we go. We missed a couple of things. Nothing like eating some pizza and watching the stream. Ew, good on you. Live hunt, night hunt. Robert Ramsey says, I started using wraps and I find my fletch arrow and make it easy to clean it. Hang on. I started using wraps. I find when fletching arrows, it makes it easier to clean arrow shafts. It definitely makes it easier to get off. And if I made a little video on how to take arrow wraps off. It's so easy. All you need to do is get your blade. You sink it in hot water for about, I don't know, 30 seconds. Then you get your blade and you just go up it and then it'll just peel off. Easy as. That's how I get my wraps off anyway. I don't mind wraps. You got to find a good brand of wraps, otherwise they come off a bit easy, I think. Jeremy Hale, hello from the States. Salt Lake City, Utah. Ooh, that's near the Eastern Factory, if I'm not correct. If I'm not mistaken. One Red Dog Road's on, saying, hey Jimmy, watching the Dudley podcast 119. Ooh, I'll have to check that out too after this one, I think. Don't mind the old Dudley podcast. It definitely, you definitely get a few tips off them, that's for sure. First arrow of the day done. I'm loving this yellow and purple though. Loving it. Alright. Yellowy. Got to be careful with this glue, so you just got to put the tiniest amount of glue on with this with the old bright site glue. Make sure we don't get too much excess. Now we got to wait like 30 seconds. Anyone said anything else? I use Gorilla Glue. 15 seconds, go to the next one. So I'm setting it up with the offset, but One Red Dog Road, I'm going to do a video after this live stream on how I set it up, exactly how I set it up. So I can't really readjust it now and show you, because if I do that, all the rest of the arrows are going to be off. So once I finish doing my arrows, I'll play with the tuners for you, get the cameras coming down all these angles, and I'll show you exactly what I set it up and how I set it up, what sort of offset I use and how I get a good offset and how I get it to stick. Because Greg has a big problem with his bits and burger, and I'll show you what problem Greg has too. So I'll do the mistakes and the good one. I'll do 2 mistakes and a good one to show you how to do it and how not to do it. How about that? And then hopefully Greg might get some good fletches as well, but I'm going to vein Greg's up for him anyway. Right. Yeah, so stay tuned for that. That'll be tomorrow's video, how to set up the Bitzenberger. Alright, talk to me guys, tell me something, keep me interested while I'm sitting here watching glue dry, getting high as a kite. Man, let me tell ya, can you do a 4-fletch? I can do a 4-fletch for you. Do you want me to show you how to do a 4-fletch with a 3-fletching jig? Would that be a good one? So if you've only got a 3-fletch jig, I'll show you how to do 4 fletches on a 3-fletch jig. Will that be a good video? Alright, awesome. I'll do that as well, and I'll add that to the Bitzenberger jig. The Bitzenberger has a setting that you can set it up, either with 3, 4, or 4 with the 2 close ones and then a big gap for your blade. You can only do the 2 close ones and a gap with your 3. You can't get 4 even. You can't just get like 4, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 with a normal 3 jig, but you can get the one, what's the angle? 75 degrees times 185 degrees with a normal jig. So we'll do that as well. I'll show you how to do that. And all you got to do is you fletch 2, you pull the arrow off and put it on the other side. Use acetone to clean the sides of the... Use acetone to clean sides if too much glue. Alright, thanks bro. I don't use acetone, I use isopropyl alcohol, 100%. There's the camera, see that? 100, oh it's in reverse, must be because of the thing. But that says 100% pure. Got to get the pure stuff guys. No, I just like using 15 bucks of internet, but the theory I think, if it's 100%, when it evaporates it leaves nothing. Makes sense? If you got like 99% alcohol, when it evaporates it's leaving 1% behind. So I like getting 100%, so I know I'm guaranteed no leftover residue. So that's why I like to use the 100% isopropyl alcohol. But that's just me. I know a lot of people use the acetone, but the smell of the acetone's a bit strong for me. If I use acetone, I get a bit... It smells a bit cocaine-y sometimes too, I reckon. Give that... So that's why I don't like using the acetone. The fumes just get me a bit too hectic. Looking good, looking good. We've only got 3 arrows to go after this one. Stoked. Then I'll be able to go try out my new stabiliser. I should probably had it here so I could show you. But you've seen in the video. Oh, look here. Look where it was. Right here. Searching everywhere for me knock adapter and it was right in front of me. Ridiculous. 6 people on, 2 likes. Hit that button, people! Only joking. You don't hit it if you only want to. Don't hit it unless you want to. But I do like seeing those like buttons, let me tell you. I don't think it does anything. The only thing it does is gives my head a bit of a boost. Here we go. Favourite blend of fletching for outdoors. Oh, let's have a little talk about fletching because I've got a ton of fletches. At the moment, I'm using Fletch 187s. They're my favourite at the moment. I've used them a lot for outdoors. They're an absolute great arrow, great vein for an outdoor arrow if you're wanting a little bit of less wind resistance. Let's go through my packet of veins. Another good one is this is F.A.C.T. F.A.C.T 175. This is one of the smallest. This is made for shooting 90 meters. So this vein's made for the long distance. So that's what. Oh, here they go. I've got the phone upside down, so I keep putting it on the other side. But yeah, they're really great. I used those for ages. Those are the ones that were on these arrows that I took them off, but I just wasn't getting enough things. So if you're using a light point weight, they're good. These are These are nearly exactly the same, but they're a little bit bigger. They're not feeders. They're Vaintech 1/8s. They're Vaintech 2s. So Vaintech 2 inches. So Vaintech 2 inches. These ones, they're not a bad fletch. What are these ones? I think these are the same in yellow. Yep, so these are just the same ones in blue. These are good ones, and these are the ones Greg uses. These are 2.25s. Vaintech Swift Vanes 2.25s. These are, and these are what Greg uses. Greg really rates these. These are a nice looking vein as well. Vaintech as well. I had a bit of a Vaintech thing there for a while, didn't I? So they're a nice one. They're Vaintech Swift Vanes 2.25. So that's another good one. You don't want too small veins. I see a lot of beginners at my club get the tiniest little veins, these 1.5 little things that are about this big and tiny little things, and they shoot 100 grain, like 80 grain points, and they're shooting 20 meters. I'm like, well, if you're only shooting 20 meters and you're not shooting these long distances because you're a beginner, why the hell are you using these tiny veins? Probably because the club told them to, but it's ridiculous. So I don't recommend using anything smaller than the Vaintech feeders. The Vaintech feeders, they're the smallest you should go, my opinion. And they are a fraction too small, but if you're using a light arrow, they're good. So there's a little vein tips for you. There's a couple of veins that I use. Oh, here we go. Vaintech Super Spine 3Ds. 1.8, that's what these are. That's what these next ones are. These are Vaintech 1.8 Super Spines. Little different veins for you, but they're the ones at the moment. If I was going to recommend you to get an outdoor vein, I'd recommend the old Flex Fletch 187s. And a couple of pros I was talking to recommended these as well, and I'm talking pros. That's one cool thing about my channel, is I get to talk to these hectic people. It just blows me mind that they even like talk to me. I never thought my channel was a hobby, you know what I mean? I never thought my channel would ever go anywhere. I thought I was only ever doing it for me because I kind of just like doing different crazy stuff, and I thought, I'll give it a go. Never thought I'd ever go anywhere. And now people are like, these pros are talking to me, people are sending me stuff. Absolutely blows me away, guys. So I want to thank you so much, because it absolutely does me day, all this crazy stuff. I never thought I'd get as big as I am, and I'm not even big. You know what I mean? I've only got 1,000 subs and I'm still getting all this stuff. It's hectic. So I do appreciate it, guys. That's all I'm trying to say is I love you guys, because without you, I wouldn't be here at all. Absolutely blows me away. So yeah, Pro rang me up and told me to get these veins. So that's why I went back to them. So I thought, well, if the pros are using them, and if you watch World Archery, when they give you the close-up of their release, don't watch their release anymore, just watch their veins and see which veins they use. And a hell of a lot of pros on the world scene use 187s. So that's what got me liking them as well. Gotta get a couple more veins ready. We got anything? Have I missed anything? I've missed a few things. Do you like 4 at 90 or 75? Honestly, I've never tried the 75 105. Is it 105? Oh yeah, 75 105. But I do like the 4. But I'm keen to give a go with the what are they called? The 75 105. Makes sense, seeing it gives you a bit more clearance for your vein if you use a blade. So if you're using your blade, it gives you that little bit more space for the blade clearance. else we got? Boeing Fletch are awesome. I like the new Heat Low profile. I haven't seen the new Heat Low by Boeing. The ice vanes are awesome. I like the ice vanes as well. I just did some heat vanes. They don't want to set down. Oh, they don't want to set down on the shaft well. Oh yeah, because you're trying to use a big helical and the edges kick up, the front and the back kick up. I'm going to talk about that in my next video, how to set it up. Jimmy, I've got my new bar as well. I got my new bee stinger. Can't wait to shoot them. Ooh, bee stinger are good. Greg uses bee stinger. Let us know how they go, what you think of them. Because I was going to go with bee stinger. I was thinking either bee stinger or onyx, shrewd onyx, but then I really like the look of the shrewd onyx. The carbon fibre finish looks smick. That's kind of what got me into that. But yeah, just a small vane for outdoors. Well, it depends on how far you're shooting. If you're only shooting 50 meters, I'd go with an ice vane, like a 3-inch ice vane. It doesn't really matter because you don't really need that long cast. And the more 3 inches, it's really, you have to play with your point weight to vane size. If you're running a really small point, then you can get away with having a really small vane. But if you've got a really heavy point, you need a bigger vane sometimes to equal out the tail, and you want to have equalness between the drag, the push of the pull of the tip, and the drag of the arrow, because that's the two things that give your arrows stability. The point, dragging it forward, and the tail, straightening it up. So you want to get an even ratio of that, because if you have a too heavy a point, your tail flutters around in the wind as it's going. Now if you have your point too light and the tail's too heavy, your point flutters around and the tail's steady. So you want to have that evenness, so they're both getting even amount of what's the word I'm looking for? Even amount of stability from front and back. I just noticed, if you're wondering about never letting your glue get too close to the flame, what happens, can you see all that burn mark on the glue? That focus in. Oh, there you go. See all that burn mark? If you get burnt mark on your glue, don't use it. All that blackness will stop your arrows and stop your tips from thing. And that was the first time I ever glued in some points. Very first time ever. I was just sitting it on a candle. So that's all candle charcoal. I was just leaving it on the candle, then burn it. So what? All my points come out, let me tell you. So I learnt the hard way. So don't ever burn your glue to the point where it goes black, because if it does, you get carbonization and it won't stick. Little tip for you. Ooh, one vane to go, and we've done this arrow. We're getting through them pretty quick. Jimmy, I've just, Night Hunt says, Jimmy, I've just gotten, oh yeah, new jars, I just read that one. It'd be nice if, oh here we go. I got a shrewd long for the long. I got shrewd for, God, it went away again. I got shrewd for a long time, and decided why not give a new brand a try. Well, that's always true. You're always good to try new things out because you never know unless you never go, or whatever that thing is. Give it a go. That's what I was thinking too. I was using doinker, and I was thinking about just getting a new doinker back bar, and I thought, oh, why not try something new? So that's why I went with Shrewd as well. Try out the new stuff, see how that goes. 9 people on. So I'm just fixing up my arrows. 2 arrows to go and then we're done. I was sitting down here by myself, so I thought I'd just do a live stream. So thanks for joining in at home. Oh no, I probably took that off a bit early. Perfect. Oh, another arrow down. Have you seen the fuse carbon blade stabilizers? Yeah, I have. They looked interesting. With the slim line, they're narrow. The theory is that they don't get much wind pushing through that way. It makes sense if they're, but I don't know how oh no. We've had the corner lift up on this one. All the rest seem good though. But look here, is this what happens, Red Dog? So you get that corner lifting up. Probably won't focus in. But, oh no, you probably can't tell, but this very corner of the vein is popped up. The back edge is not stuck down properly. So that means we have to redo the mother frigger. Because why not get them perfect? If you're going to do it, why not do it right? That was just because I was taking them off a bit too quick yesterday. Alright, where's my towel? Give it a quick wipe. Alright, let's get into this one. Alright. So we need that one. Bit of alcohol. 2 of these ones. 2 arrows to go. I tell you what, one thing that is the thing that I don't like about archery the most is probably sitting here fletching arrows. It's just such a time consuming thing. But once they're done, and you get a bit of reward out of it at the end when you see them all done, and I guess, but while you do them, it's a nightmare. Sitting here, one thing, and then sitting and waiting and waiting and waiting. I seen thing about Rio Wild does his. He leaves his for 6 minutes. He uses so he leaves it sit for 6 minutes in between each vein. It must take him a whole day. Well, 6 minutes each vein. God, how long is that? So that's 15 minutes an arrow. If you're on time. 15 minutes an arrow, so 15 times 12, 15 times 10 is 150 minutes. You're looking at a fair bit of time there. I think it's more than that. I don't know. But yeah, 6 minutes so he puts it on, hits his timer, 6 minutes, then he'll take it off and do the next one. I don't wait that long, that's for sure. I try and leave it a minute, because you can pull it off in 30 seconds. Ah, everybody's archery's on. How are ya? I missed a couple, I think. Jeremy Hale says, I noticed that some of the pros number their arrows. Do you do this, and why? Yeah, so you really need to number your arrows. That's a major thing. And Night says, what's your favourite thing about archery? The challenge on how bloody hard it is. So that's what does me head in. You get out in the morning, you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm stinging to shoot some arrows, stinging to shoot, and you get there and you're just like, doof, doof. You're like, oh fuck, I've got how hard this is. And then you just got to be on. I like things that are hard, I think. I like a challenge. So that's what I like about archery, is it's just not easy at all. But the reason why you should always number your arrows is because you might be shooting, then you notice you always get one high left, and it might be just you flicking up. It could be your miss spot. You just always have a miss spot up high left. But if you number your arrows, then you could go, oh, well, it's a bit funny that number 4 seems to be hitting in that spot all the time. All the other arrows are hitting here, but 4's hitting here all the time. So you know there's something wrong with number 4. So you can go, okay, throw away number 4, go home, refletch it, just test how straight it is and all that type of stuff. So that's why you really should number your arrows all the time. So then you know if you're getting like a spray one, you know it's the arrow or you, because it could be you. But most of the time it's you, but some of the times it could be the arrow. You get like a dodgy vein, can like put it off a little bit. You could get the arrow could get a little bit bent. Carbon should stay straight, but they still get bent. They say they don't, but they do. And a great video to prove this is Goldtip's video. They do, Gillingham does like his stress test, where he bends the arrow and then spins it. And most of the arrows, after just getting bent a little bit, don't hold their straightness. So it is important to number your arrows. Just put a little number on your vein, on one of the veins even. That's one good thing about getting wraps, is when the wraps come with numbers on them. So if you buy a wrap, they normally come numbered. So you don't have to number your arrows, they're already numbered on the thing. But yeah, I highly recommend numbering your arrows, so you know if you get a dodgy one. Greg likes to number them and letter them, and then he'll write on the targets where they hit. So if he gets like, what arrows are these? These are goldtip ultralite pros. Goldtip ultralite pros, 300 grains, 300 spine arrow with 150 grains cut at 28.5 inches. Yeah, but Greg gets that hectic. He likes to number the arrows and letter them, and then he'll mark them on the things. So he'll get his target and you'll see all holes, and all the holes will have letters all over them. So he goes, this is A, this is B, this is C, this is 4-1, 6-1, 5-1. And then all over his target, you'll notice that, oh, C4 is always hitting here. And oh, 5-6 is, you know, it's 12-8, it's hitting up here or whatever. So those are a little light, 150 grains. Yeah, so if you number them and mark on your targets where you can see where your groups kind of end up. You see where your arrow groups. These are one of my favourite arrows, actually. These were my old arrows before I got the platinum pierce. So before I got the platinum pierce, I had these. And these arrows, let me tell you, I shot my best scores with these arrows. And I've smashed the most amount of knocks with these arrows. So it might be because they're a little bit fatter, but I don't see the knocks are always the same size. And I smashed so many knocks with these, like so many. And if you look at all of these pins, they've all got knocks all around them from where I've clipped them. So that's one good sign that I've noticed about these arrows, that I've smashed more knocks than any other arrow. So that's why I went back to them. I thought, oh, well, seeing what's going on, I may as well go back. And I've got 11 of them here, plus they're one of the strongest arrows. They're the only arrow that I've had the whole set last without getting damage, except for the only damage I've noticed is just this one here. It's got this little nick in the, you see it just there in the light. little nick. It's not even a nick, it's just like a little scratch, but I don't know if it's a crack or if it's just a little just blemish in the carbon from like something hitting it, something scraping it. But the thing is, I've never shot this arrow. This is my bare shaft arrow. I have shot it, but not much. So I don't know how I've got that little crack on it. But that's the only thing I've noticed with them. Stress test, yeah, I do. Yeah. It's not cracking, it's not making any noise. That's why I was just watching it to see if the crack moved while I bent it, and the crack doesn't seem to be moving. So I think it just looks more than anything. I've been looking at Black Eagle for all my new arrows for field. I've a lot of people have been talking about Black Eagle. They seem to be getting popular lately. Old Dan McCarthy's making them popular. Everybody's archery. Jimi was almost late for the 5720. We got straight there, went to the practice, round started. Went to the practice, round started. Oh, so you didn't even get a practice. How'd you go? What was your score? What was your score for the 5720, everybody's archery? Oh, just the guys on. How are you, Tezza? Do you adjust your rest or knock point when you're changing shaft size for outdoor indoor arrows? I changed me rest. How you want to set up your knock height? This is my theory on knock height is you want to set your knock height with your burger button. So you want to work out exactly how high or low you want to set your arrow up with your burger button. So I think it was what was the one before the Podium? The FX or something like that. I remember Jesse Broadwater used to set up his arrow high of the burger button because it held a little bit better. So he liked to set up the arrow just a little bit higher, sitting just like high side of the burger button, so that'll make his hold a little bit better. Then some people like to have it a little bit lower, the burger button, and that'll change how the bow holds in your hand because of the way you're pulling onto the bow makes it pull different into your hand, so it'll hold different. So you want to set your knocking height where you want your hold to be. So if you got like that good hold, so now I've got where that hold I want to be. Now I want to change arrows or change fatnesses or diameters or whatever. So now I've got the right pull still. All I do is just adjust me rest. So then I just might move me rest because it's, what's the difference between like a fat arrow and a skinny arrow? It's only like, you know, a couple of mil, the halfness. So you're only going to have to drop the rest down like the fraction, half a mil or a quarter of a mil, and not even anything. Because most of the time the heaviness of the, if you're using a blade, sometimes you don't even have to adjust it, because if you're using a blade rest and you're using a heavy indoor arrow, normally the heavy indoor arrow sits a little bit lower, because like an outdoor arrow will sit there, but because you're using the heavy point weight of the indoor arrow, it sits it down a bit lower anyway, so you normally don't really have to adjust much for your indoor outdoor shafts if you're using a blade rest. And I know a lot of really good shooters who don't retune for indoor or outdoor. That's just me, but if you really want to be precise and like, you know, if you are shooting 30x, like 29x's, and you want to get to 30x's, then I'd recommend setting up a bow just for indoor arrows. But if you're not shooting 300s, you don't really need to. Oh, Jim, oh, Ivan's on. How are you, buddy? So that's my theory about on where to set your knock height and whether to change your knock height or your rest. I always think once you get your knock height right, just keep your knock height where it was. It was in the it was in the 630. My first 2 rounds were in the 40s. Oh, that always hurts when you don't get a warm up. I left at 5 in the morning and it took 5 hours to get there to shoot. Oh, that's hectic. Wow, God, I hate traveling. That's hectic, bro. That's a feat in itself. What's the topic, crazy man, from you, Ivan? So what I was talking about was rest. Just a guy asked, should he move his knocking height or his blade when he changes from a fat arrow to a skinny arrow? Because he's using these skinny arrows or vice versa. He's using one and he wants to change from a fat to a skinny. So he said, should I move me knocking height or me rest height? And I said, move your rest height. Because once you get your knocking point, and then it won't change your hold. It'll still feel the same at full draw. Talking of that, I should be pretty good to go on this one. That one should be locked down. I had a good chat about that. Just the rest. That's right, Ivan. I said the same thing. It's a bit hard moving the knocking point all the time because the knocking point changes everything. A couple of dots, smear up some glue. We're good to go. Any other questions? What have I missed? Just a guy said, I love me drop away. Ah, yep, that's alright. Just a couple little turns down and you'll be right. One Dog Red loves his drop away too. He uses the Quad HDX. I've heard a lot about the quads. A lot of people have been rating the quads lately. The quad, not quad, quad, QADs. What arrows are those, yours or Greg's? These are my arrows. These are my old ones that I used to use before the goldtip platinum pierce. So I used to use the platinum pierce and then I broke them all. Shot me last one into the tree. And then, so I thought I need to go get some new arrows and I had these sitting here, 11 of them. And I thought, well, seeing I've got 11 of them sitting here, I may as well just get these bad boys back out and reset them up. So that's what I've done. New nocks, new vanes, new pin weight. So I've gone from 130 up to 150. Fixed them up a bit. Robert Rumsey says, I think quality archery design. Save money for new bow. Haha, that's right. Yep, got to save the money for the new bow. Alright, one to go after this, guys. An hour to do 5 or 10 hours. I suppose I spend more time talking than anything, don't I? Thanks for watching, guys. Love yous. 1 hour to go and then we're done. Oh, we got a few things. Can you still get gold tip? Yeah, I can still get them. They're just dearer now at the moment. So I think the price has gone up by like 10% or something. I don't know. I can't exactly know the prices, but yeah, I just know the price has gone up because it's changed manufacturer. It's changed distributor. Night Aunt says, I've pulled out my arrows and started numbering them. Good work, bro. Trust me, you won't regret it. Yeah, it definitely works, bro. Definitely, especially if you really want to notice your thing. Try it. Do mark your holes. Get like a fresh target and then have a shoot and then mark all your holes. Go like, well, not your X's. Don't mark, but if you're getting some sprayers, get some sprayers. Always write the number next to the hole, and then you might, after shooting 50 arrows, you might go, oh, hang on a minute. Number 6 arrows always going out. Always number 6. And you can go home and do that one. So that's a good reason why you should number your arrows. Alright, let's give it another 20 seconds. Oh, Jeremy's numbering his arrows too. Well, there's a good thing that turned out good for today's video. Got some arrow numbering tips. Oh, one thing I haven't done with these ones is tipped and tailed them. Put a quick tip and a tail on them. Good to go. I don't really like putting a tail on them because it softens the glue up a bit. Just a little tip on it. Just like to put a little tip of super glue on the very front of the vanes to stop the wind from getting underneath them. Because it could be stuck down good, but it could be just lifted up that tiny little fraction, and that'll be enough to catch some air, and that'll rip your vein off. So I just like to put a tiny little dob on the front of my vanes, just to make sure there's no wind getting underneath the front of them. Only the fractionless, tiniest little dot. Last arrow, lucky stinking last. How's this one looking? That one's stuck down good. Last two arrows. Oh, where do we go? Where do we go? What have we lost? Oh, good. And just to guys, said something you should have said. There. So where's the new stabiliser with all the huge weights? Did you see that video? Did ya? It's upstairs on my bow actually. I was playing with it yesterday, last night, trying to see how it feels. And I'm moving it. It's surprisingly the same weight as my old one, except that instead of having this much weight, like that long of a weight bar, now the weights are just gone that big because it's so much fatter. But it's exactly the same length. It's a little bit shorter actually, a little bit shorter than my old one, and a little bit lighter. You wouldn't think so though, would you? Swap these and then we'll be done. Arrow's finally hotted up. All right. And I shot the best scores I shot with these arrows when I had the 150s in there too, and then I took the 130s out for some reason. I don't know what happened. Did you go smaller or larger? Hang on. I went larger. I was using a 12-inch. Now I'm using a 14-inch because it's end up a bit shorter because of the thing. Yeah, I do like the spine alignment on the. Just a guy asked, do you use the spine align marks on your victory arrows? And I do. I think they're a great little thing to add. What time is it there? It is about 10:30, I think. No, 11 o'clock. 11 a.m. on the time we're running over in the States. What is the difference in your point weight from outdoor to indoor? At the moment, nothing. So I'm using 150s on my outdoor arrows, and on my indoor arrows I'm using 150 as well. But me X27s, they're running 300 grain point. So me big indoors, me big super fat indoors, they're 300 grains at the front, so they're like weigh a ton. There we go. Should be done now, I reckon. Last vein, people. $5:55 p.m. here. Oh, it's a good time there. It's a good time. 9:55 for Ivan. 8 p.m. At least it's not in the middle of the morning for yous. Last vein on, stoked. Absolutely stoked. Definitely an awesome looking arrow. Awesome looking vein, I mean. It's nearly 9 o'clock in Michigan. Wesley, hey bro, any potential bow changes in the near future? Yeah bro, I'm changing to PSE. I'm getting the new PSE when it comes out. The new Perform X in purple. So that'll be good. That's the I'm going purple and yellow with these because I'm going to go purple bow with a yellow string eventually, hopefully. Copy the old Chance Bowbeth. So he runs that too. But yeah, I'm getting the Perform X, but I don't think it comes out till November. So is Greg still playing with the angles up and down? Yep. But we found out that you should only cut weight. It is a thing. You should only ever cut weight. Only ever cut yardages, whether you go up or down. You double the cut for down and you half the cut for the up. Oh, Wesley says he's got to shoot the new Perform X. Wow, well that's interesting. What'd you think of it? So you thought it was alright, did you? I'm getting it from Archery Supplies in South Australia. Link in the description. So yeah, if you need to get a Perform X yourself, you're in Australia. Maybe if you're anywhere in the world, he might send them anywhere to you. But yeah, get on to Archery Supplies in South Australia. They'll sort you out. So I'm getting mine. So hopefully they come out sooner. Hopefully they get released before November because I've ordered mine. Mine's been ordered. Like, it's on its way. Like, I've ordered it already. So I'm definitely getting it. Definitely getting it. So that's awesome. So yeah, it's on its way. It's just waiting for them to, whenever they release it, to get here. It's going to be the problem. Just thinking, what arrows can I fletch for you after I do this? Alright guys, all done and dusted. Arrows all ready to go. They should be ready to shoot in like an hour or two, hopefully. Once the glue fully cures, we should be good to go. Oh, hang on. Just a guy says he loves his PSE expression. One Dog Red Night Hunt says, you running hounds? You're going to keep the old bow. You're going to keep the old bow. I don't think so. I'm going to get rid of it. I don't really like the Hyot, actually. I've never had much luck with the Hyot. Do you have a string maker for custom strings? I know a great bloke in New South Wales. If you want, I can, yeah, hook me up. Yeah, send me his details for sure. I do have a jig maker for the string, but God, it's a pain making your strings. It's like fletching your arrows, it takes forever. Very adjustable. I like the Perform X better than the shorter 3D model. Oh, that's interesting. Those my ultralights. They are my ultralights, buddy. Ivan, these are my ultralights. Finally fixed up and ready to go. So they're good to shoot. How cool does it look when I spin them? So now I've got the big helical. I've gone from a straight 1.75 to a 1.87 with a helical. So I've gone from straight vein to helical vein, a little bit longer and a little bit more point weight. So that's the Sitcho on the ultralights. I think I pulled that last one off just a fraction early. Little thing you can do too if hopefully flying darts, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. If you do get a little bit lifting up, just hold it down. How much offset? It doesn't tell you the degrees, but it's a fair bit. I might be able to show you on the jig once this sets a little bit. God, last one I had to take it off early, didn't I? It's always the way, you got to screw up the last one. Just the very tips come up a little bit, just like the fractionist. So if you just hold it down while the glue sets, it'll be sweet. Now Greg's going to the new PSE too. We're both going Perform-X. So that'll be cool. Both of us shooting Perform-X's. He's shooting the gold one. He's ordered a gold one, and I've ordered a purple one. Yeah, hold the jig up once I get this to stick down. It's nearly there. Nearly there. Okay, now we're good to go. Alright, I'll show you the jig. So there's the one side. Can you see? Let me get something to point at a bit easier. So see that line there? There's the square line. There's the square line there, and that's how offset it is. So I've got it that much up, and then the back side's probably that much opposite. There's the center line, and it's that high up. Is that coming in? Can you see that? And on this side, it's that far down. So this side's down, this side's up. So that's, it'd have to be what? Fair bit. What, 1 or 2 degrees? I'd say 2 degrees, maybe even more. 2 degrees, you reckon? I reckon 2 degrees. It'd be cool if they put the degree marks on this thing. That'd be the best idea. Fitzenberger, if you're watching, put some degree lines on here so then you can mark it next time. You could go, if there was marks on here, you could go, okay, I've set these arrows up to 2 degrees, but I've got my indoor arrows for 4 degrees. And then if you swap back, you just go, oh, 2 degree setting, 2 degree setting. Mate, should be a jig designer, shouldn't I? But yeah, there's my offset. So I'm running a bit at 120, just the standard 3. Well, that's a bit better of a view. Is it? My super max is quick. If I shoot, I know the distance to use. Ooh. So Just a Guy loves his Supra. Night Hunt says, Jimmy, you should name your new bow. Might bring you some luck. I will do that actually. Let's start making a competition maybe. Name Jimmy's new bow. Come up with the name, the Purple People Eater. Something to do with purple maybe. Yeah, I'll show you. Wait till you see this video. It'll all make sense. It'll all make sense. Bertha. The big Bertha. That's Ivan's name he thinks it should be. The new bow should be called Bertha. Yeah, okay. The new hit the like button, guys, before we go. I'm gonna do a video on how I set up, on how I get this angle, on what makes me get this angle, because it's not just a random guess. I set it up so I make sure it's perfect, and I'll show you how I do that. So stay tuned for tomorrow, because I'll be teaching you how I set up my Bitzenberger jig. and how to get the offset. So hit the like button, guys. Hit the subscribe button. Hit all the buttons. I'll see you tomorrow for another video.